Think about how you currently interact with your computer. You probably clicked on this video, scrolled down to read the comments, or tapped like. What if I told you in just a few years you might not need to do any of that? Let's take a trip down memory lane to look at where we've been and maybe see where we might be going. Back in the 1950s and 1960s, interacting with a computer meant feeding it punch cards or typing very cryptic commands into a terminal. You had to know exactly what to type, character by character, or nothing would happen. Only engineers and programmers could really use these machines. It was efficient if you knew what you were doing, but imagine trying to teach your mom how to use one of these things. That changed in the 1980s. Thanks to innovations from Xerox and companies like Microsoft and Apple, we got the first graphical user interface, or GUI. Suddenly, computers had windows, icons, and menus you could actually click on and move around. The Apple Macintosh in 1984 and Microsoft's Windows in 1985 made computers visual and interactive. For the first time, regular people could actually use a computer without memorizing a bunch of commands. Now, here's where things get interesting. In the 1990s, Microsoft tried something completely different. They released Microsoft Bob in 1995, which replaced your boring desktop with a cartoon house. You'd navigate through different rooms to find your programs. There was even an animated dog named Rover who would give you tips. It sounds cute, right? Well, it was also painfully slow and confusing, and people frankly hated it. Microsoft quietly killed it off after just a year, but it was a bold attempt at something different. Then it was Clippy. You remember Clippy, that little animated paperclip that would pop up in Microsoft Office saying things like, "It looks like you're trying to write a letter." Some people find them helpful, but most people find them incredibly annoying. He'd interrupt you constantly with suggestions you didn't want. Microsoft gamely hung on to Clippy until 2007, though he's made some comebacks in memes and marketing campaigns. Here's the thing, though. Bob and Clippy were actually ahead of their time. They were trying to make computers feel more human and helpful, which is exactly what we're doing today, or at least trying to, with AI assistants. Fast forward again to 2011, and Apple introduced Siri. Suddenly, you could talk to your phone like it was a person. It's a little difficult in 2025 to remember how magical Siri seemed at the time. Google Assistant and Amazon's Alexa followed, and now we're used to saying, "Hey Google" or "Alexa" to get things done. These assistants learned from Clippy's mistakes by being less intrusive and more contextually aware. Today, we're seeing the next evolution with tools like Microsoft's Copilot, ChatGPT, and other AI systems that can handle text, voice, and even images. They're getting better at understanding what we actually want, even when we're being vague about it. So, where is all this heading? The next few years could be pretty wild. We're moving towards AI that doesn't just wait for commands, but actually anticipates what you need. Imagine an assistant that knows you're working on a presentation and automatically pulls up relevant research, or one that notices you're struggling with a task and offers to help before you even ask it. Like the old Clippy, but much more aware. We might even see a return to those Bob-style environments, but this time in virtual or augmented reality, where you can navigate digital spaces that feel real and intuitive. The crazy part is we might actually be approaching the end of traditional interfaces altogether. Instead of clicking buttons and navigating menus, we'll just have conversations with our computers. They can adapt to how we think and work, accommodating our individual needs in a more personal way. It's like we're coming full circle, back to those dreams of human-like computer interaction that Microsoft Bob and Clippy tried to achieve. But now we finally have the technology to pull it off. I can certainly see Apple and Microsoft over the next few years, giving us, lathering on more of the AI stuff, the agentic stuff, the helper stuff. However, the younger generation, I think, is more, they don't really use computers, I don't think, as much as, older folks do. Um, Phones seem to be the thing, and I see a lot of kids or, young adults using things like character.ai and things like that. So I could see them being much more susceptible to something like in the movie Her, where it's not even really a computer, it's just like a companion who can answer questions and help you with things and so on. So the whole paradigm could change. It'd be interesting to see it. I hope I live long enough to see, some of it, and I hope it's good. Um, you never know with these things. I mean, it could be just as dystopian as some of the novels painted to be, but we can only hope. So let me know what you think in the comments. Am I way off base here? Are we going to end up with, you know, basically a chatbot on steroids for our computer interface? Do you want that? I kind of don't. I mean, I use AI from time to time, but I don't think I want it to do that exactly. But we'll see. Hey, take it easy. So that's another video in the can. If you find this informative or interesting, please consider liking and subscribing down below. And remember, be excellent to each other.